Good morning and welcome. My name is Misa Iwama. I'm the Director of Music Ministry. It's so nice to see you here. I'm here today with John O'Neill and Benny Koonyevsky, and you will be introduced later to the other people who are importantly leading the service. But we're going to start with The Tide is Rising. That's on this handout. If you need one, just raise your hand and we will get you a copy. It's a simple song. You might not even need to look at this, but you're welcome to take this home if you like. I invite you also to rise in body or in spirit, and we'll sing this together. The tide is rising, and so are we. The tide is rising, and so are we. The tide is rising, and so are we. This is where we are called to be. This is where we are called to be. The task is mighty, the task is mighty, and so are we. The task is mighty.
Good morning, Beacon. Good morning. Now, I have to say, y'all are really acting like spring. I'm seeing some flowers I ain't seen in a good minute. Y'all walking through the door all bright, coming out of hibernation. I'm here for it. It's good to see all of you. I am Reverend Jay. I am the assistant minister here at Beacon Unitarian Universalist, and I want to welcome our friends online. If you are joining us for the first time, please put your name and please put where you're at in the chat so we can wave at you, greet you with a lot of love. Also, in addition to that, that's right. Thank you, Kathy. Give them a little wave because they're out there in the ether. But I'm so excited to be here today. I hope that you will join us later today for coffee hour after service. In addition to that, I want to know how many of you love faith? Okay, how many of you love faith in action? Okay. All right, that's how we work here, right? And so, like, if you really love faith in action, I hope that you will join us after service. We've got a table where you can talk to some folk, particularly Eric. Eric, do you mind lifting up your hand? There we go, right there. One of our board members. All right, they are going to be down there answering questions about how to get more involved, getting involved with the things that concern New Jersey. So if you live in New Jersey, now I'm from the Bronx, but I will go and listen at the table as well, okay? I know. You're like, Jay, geez. No, I will come out there as well and ask some questions, get more familiar with how we can make New Jersey more just, more equitable, more healthy regarding our community, because that's what we need, right? Is that what we need? Yeah. Okay. I want to make sure I'm talking to the right people this morning. I know it's like it's 11, but come on, work with me, y'all. In addition to that, we also have a wonderful announcement coming from our lead ministry team. So I'm going to bring up Tuli Patel in this present moment to give us some of that.
Thank you so much, Rev J. My name is Tuli Patel. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am a plus-sized woman from South Asia with short graying hair. And I want to tell you all, in case you didn't get the email, that we've had a bit of a disappointing week this week with our expansion plans at 695 being denied by the zoning board. I first want to call up any members of our board of trustees. Eric, Missy, I see you here. Please come on up. And Kathleen, please come on up. So board members are available after services to ask any questions. So I just want to say, although the news has been disappointing, we are not going to be daunted. We are going to rest in a place of gratitude and give pause and thanks, especially to the people who have worked so tirelessly and so long on this project. And I'd like to call up Michelle and Steve, co-leads of the facilities expansion team, as well as Norm, Helen, anybody else who's worked on the expansion team, please come on up so that we can show them our gratitude. So we're going to take some time to show them our appreciation, to give them our thanks, and to all of you who have contributed to our expansion efforts, you too. So we're going to pause, take some time to give thanks, and then decide how we want to move forward. And all of them are available for questions and dialogue after the service. Thank you all.
Thank you. So I hope that you will join me in also expanding. This side looks a little heavier than this side, but if y'all don't mind, I would love to get y'all the opportunity to kind of meet and greet this morning. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds. 2 minutes. There you go. 2 minutes. See, I want to make sure, look, I'm like, I better be careful with my time. Y'all know I'm Pentecostal. We be hugging and talking all day. But y'all go ahead. Let's cue some beautiful music and just take a moment to greet somebody. Say that it's good to see them. You don't know what you took to get here, but I'm glad you're here. right. The tide is rising, and so are we. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that we've had a chance to greet each other. I hope that my online community has done that. It is such an honor to be with y'all. Let us prepare to celebrate love. Let us prepare to celebrate life. But most of all, let us prepare to celebrate liberation. And now we will have a beautiful moment of the Chalice light.
Good morning. I'm Helen, Kaar, this morning's worship associate. If you can't see me and you're curious, I'm an old, white, mostly white-haired woman. And in honor of Tuli's theme this morning, which is water, I'm wearing a blue suit. I'm also looking for a volunteer to light the chalice after I say the words. Whom do we have? Become water. Keep yourself versatile and curious. Clean yourself by touching everything and letting everything touch you. Mirror and absorb the world. Nurture and beautify it. Conform to necessity in ways that transform it. Accomplish miracles by simple means without apparent effort or intent. Lose yourself in what you do. Strive for clarity. Become water.
Right, we're going to sing together on hymn number 126, which means it's in the gray hymnal. And it is that great tune for Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing. And I invite you to rise in body or in spirit so we can sing together.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Kit Stinson, she, her, and I am pleased to serve as your chaplain this morning. If visual cues are helpful to you, I am proud to be in the company of Helen Kaar, the company of older white women with white hair. Today I am wearing a gray tunic, gray joggers, and gray boots, and this may be the last wearing of boots until October. More important, the burgundy-colored stole I'm wearing identifies me as a Beacon chaplain. Chaplains are trained volunteers who bring different perspectives and life experiences to this ministry, but what we have in common is our deep belief in compassion as an instrument of care. You don't need to be experiencing a major life event to find support and comfort in speaking with a chaplain. You just need to be a human being who wants to be heard, to be seen, and to feel less alone. If you'd like to be connected with a chaplain, you can speak with any member of the ministry team or any of our chaplains. There's more information on the Beacon website and in Neon News every week. Chaplains also lead the weekend candle lighting ritual, and I know you have all internalized the rhythm of these services and you're getting ready to stand up and line up, and we're going to do things a little bit differently. I will invite Rev J to describe to you how that will work. I'll go back and do the pieces I missed.
Okay. So I'm going to ask that our ushers come forward. So for the benefit of our safety, as of course we do this wonderful ritual and it involves fire and trying to avoid making sure that we have enough space, I want you to pay very close attention to your ushers today as they will direct us. So we're going to start from the back, and then the ushers will allow for us to then actually go around and do it. So we're just going to make sure that we remain seated, and if you are in the balcony, well, I will call you after we've done the processional, okay? So I just want to make sure we just have a clear path because we've been getting a little too crowded, and I want to just ensure our safety and our wellness in that space. Is that something that we can do together? Also, just a small reminder, as we do these candle lightings, please be mindful of the chatter. This is oftentimes, for some folk, a time to meditate, get grounded, and and have a moment to really just reflect. So I do want to offer that space for those who really need it, and I want us to be mindful of how we conduct ourselves in that manner. All right, thank you so much, Kit. Please.
Before we do individual candle lighting, we'll do our congregational candle lighting. Today, we light a candle of celebration for everyone observing Orthodox Easter, an estimated 300 million people worldwide. We light a welcome home candle for the 4 crew members of the Artemis II moon mission who returned safely to Earth last Friday. And finally, we light a candle for everyone who lives in fear in Iran, in the streets of US cities, and wherever peace and decency struggle to find a foothold. For all these things and whatever you have carried into community today, I invite you to look to your ushers for guidance and come forward now and light a candle here in the sanctuary or wherever you are.
Anybody from the balcony? We ask you to come now. Let us take 2 deep breaths. One in and out. One in and one out.
The next piece we're going to sing is Spirit of Life. It's number 1, 2, 3 in the Gray Hymnal. And I just want to say, as you're getting your music out for that, there's so many things to be thankful for here, including the work of the board, the work of everyone who has been putting together plans for the new building. That work continues, but I also want to say thank you to the choir and to Judy Brewer for the wonderful concert, because that was the work you did yesterday, so to bring joy, and we really raised the rafters. Like, it was pretty amazing to hear people sing as soloists, and I just want to say thank you for that experience yesterday. We're going to stay seated for this one, Spirit of Life.
Thank you, Misa. Thank you, John. Thank you, Benny. If the kids would like to go downstairs, now is your time to do so. There is programming downstairs. We often speak about generosity as a spiritual practice, a muscle that weakens if we stop using it, and one that grows stronger every time we choose to open our hands instead of closing them. Part of that practice, an essential part, is the willingness to talk about money directly and honestly. So let's do that together right now. Where does your plate offering go? Well, most Sundays it goes here, right here, to the roof over your head on a cold winter morning, to the hot cup of coffee pressed into your hands after worship, to the staff who show up week after week faithfully because they believe in what this place is, to the technology that carries our services to someone who is isolated or grieving or simply unable to be here today, but still longing to belong. From the music that reverberates in our chests, to the rituals that hold you when nothing else does, to the work of justice and equity that this community refuses to abandon, especially now, towards keeping our beacon shining brightly. Your generous gift is not a transaction. It is not a fee for services rendered. It is an act of love, a declaration that this community is worth protecting, worth sustaining, worth sacrificing for. So there are two ways to give this morning. The first is through the plate collection that our ushers will bring forward, and the second is through the Match Madness fundraiser. There's a Nerf ball in the lobby. We're trying to raise $25,000 before the end of the fiscal year, which is June 30th. We have $5,000 match from a generous soul, so please give as generously as you can, and this morning's offering will now be gratefully received. Give as if something depends on it. Give because something does.
Lost hope, lost life, got pain, got strife. Don't need nobody tell you how to live your life. Sometimes you hurt so down you can't work. Couldn't see a better way. Trusting in one more day. My heart, my mind is open wide. Forgiveness, see me through. I'm free, are you? Friendships come and go. Lesson learned and so. Meanwhile, keep an eye. One day break at a time, 'cause love heals and love gives, and time will rebuild a brand new day, 'cause love heals and love gives, and time will rebuild a brand new day. You know, you might stumble along the way, knocked down, that's okay. I have to crawl, but I say, follow the promise of a brand new day. It might sound untrue, but this song's for you. Let come what may, follow the promise of a brand new day, 'cause love heals and love gives, and time will rebuild a brand new day, 'cause love heals and love
Oh,
Start again,
yeah. It's great to hear it twice. Thank you. We have two readings this morning, and the first comes from Toni Morrison. All water has a perfect memory and is forever trying to get back to where it was. And the second comes from an essay called On Becoming Water by Bayo Akomolafe. Becoming water is not an act. It is an undoing, a liquefaction of the stable outlines of the self, a way of falling outside the architecture of solutions into a different density of time and body, where grief does not need to be metabolized, where breakdown is not pathologized, and where justice doesn't wear a robe or carry scales, but seeps. To become water is not to dissolve into despair. It is to dissolve into relation. To learn that fixing is not the only mode of response, that maybe when the world is burning, the most radical thing is not to organize against it, but to disappear differently, to unlearn the house, to soak into the cracks, to become the unnamed thing that fire cannot touch. In this sense, we are not post-firefighters, we are post-architecture, post-stability, post-we got this. And what comes after is not a program, but a drift. Becoming water is the politics of the spill, and spills don't hold press conferences. In your handout, you'll find a unison reading, and this comes from our own Mary O'Malley, who is here with us. Let's read together. The surface tension of water allows it to hit like a bomb. The cohesion of its molecules makes the liquid into a force to be reckoned with, a force that can destroy buildings, destroy empires, destroy life. The surface tension of water can also clean the dirt from a farm laborer's hands, can wash her baby gently, keeping them healthy, keeping them alive. So, how shall we manage the surface tension of resistance? Should our cohesion swell into a mighty, destructive force, risking lives within and outside the flood? Or shall we just gently push and push, like a stream swollen by rain, swollen by lives and action eroding the banks that attempt to constrain us? My surface tension is dammed up, ready to explode.
In the middle of March, on the Ides of March, I officiated my close friend's son's wedding in Philadelphia. Pre-wedding, I connected with the groom's childhood friend over lunch. As we got ready to leave, I literally fell off my chair when he said he had taken care of the bill. My intense reaction was driven by deeply held cultural notions, and I want to be clear, deeply held cultural notions, not in all of South Asia, not for all Gujaratis, not for all people in the larger community, but in my family, okay? Deeply held cultural notions in my family around money and giving. Elders pay. They have earned the right to do so. As my astonishment arose, my 30-year-old companion told me, relax, that the Tao was flowing through him. I was gobsmacked by the complexity of emotion arising within. And then, once astonishment passed, gratitude arose. Not the reflexive, polite, thank you for lunch kind, the other kind. Someone just gave you a gift you didn't ask for and couldn't have anticipated. The Tao flowing through a 30-year-old's quiet generosity, landing on me like water on parched ground. What we're really talking about today, underneath the theology, underneath the poetry, is this. Are we holding back? Are we dammed up? And what emerges when we are not? The theme for this month is embracing possibility. Possibility, not certainty, not safety. And that word alone should tell us that this requires some risk. So I will go first and dip my extremities into the waters of possibility. Today, I want to tease out the connection between the Sermon on the Mount, that's what today is, the Sermon on the Mount, and the 6 values that we affirm to promote, and use a poem by one of our own, Mary O'Malley, as the vehicle to do so. Usually, when we plan worship services, we think about which UU value we want to home in on, which one we want to highlight. But I've never tried all 6 in one go. Ready for the ride? Here we go. So, surface tension, love at the center. Water molecules are drawn to one another. That attraction, surface tension, is what allows water to hold itself together, to form a skin, to support weight far beyond what seems possible. Without it, water is just scatter. The 6 values we covenant to uphold and promote as Unitarian Universalists: justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity are like water molecules. Love is their surface tension, holding them in relationship. Remove it, and they scatter into policy positions, into obligations, into niceties, into performance. I was 3, maybe 4 years old. My grandmother took me by the hand and led me beneath a bridge where people suffering from leprosy were waiting. We handed out bread and warm porridge made of lentils. Every instinct in my small body said, step back, run from the stench and open sores, scurry back to where it's neat and tidy. But my grandmother's hand held mine, warm, steady, unhurried. And in that grip was a wordless message. This is right. This is love. This is what we do. That first lesson I learned about generosity was not transactional. It was love-centered. You do this because you are alive, because they are alive, because we are alive, because love asks nothing less. When love is absent from our giving, it can cause harm. Well-intentioned resources deployed without love can control, humiliate, diminish. Generosity without love is like water hitting like a bomb. Edgar Villanueva grew up in poverty in a household of deep generosity, then went on to move millions of dollars a year in institutional philanthropy and found himself slowly hollowed out by it. It was only when an elder named Donna told him that money was the medicine that had chosen him that something shifted. If money could be directed toward healing and repair, she said, it could become sacred. Not a weapon, not a wall, but a life-giving force. That is love-centered giving. Water washing gently, not detonating. Erosion, justice and equity. Water does not confront the stone directly. It finds the smallest opening and widens it year by year until the canyon appears. This is erosion, patient, persistent, unstoppable. Our justice work is erosion. The poem that inspired this sermon, written by one of our own in response to the murder of Renee Good and the events in Minneapolis, was written in a single week in the midst of unthinkable things with the writing group coordinated by Carol Congo-Miller. In the midst of so much upheaval, this congregation kept showing up. Writers kept meeting, resistant committees kept flagging, people who were frightened sat down together and refused to let fear be the last word. That is erosion. That is justice. Equity-driven giving understands something that charity alone does not. It is not enough to ladle soup at the soup kitchen if you never ask who built the system that created the hunger. Equity-driven generosity doesn't just help, it dismantles. It finds the fault lines and keeps flowing through them. But in order to steadily erode, we need to not be dammed up. Scarcity is one of the most powerful dams. Villanueva describes a $1 trillion philanthropic sector in which the vast majority of resources, even those donated in the name of charity, are invested in fossil fuels, private prisons, and weapons manufacturing. Capital meant for healing, locked up, earning returns in the systems causing the wounds. He calls this a scarcity mindset, like sitting in a warehouse full of sandwiches while someone goes hungry in front of you, telling yourself you're saving them for a future famine. But water in a warehouse doesn't stay still. It finds a way. Current, transformation. Water is never passive. Even when it looks still, it is moving, carving, depositing, shaping the land around it. A flash flood transforms in an instant. A patient stream transforms over 1,000 years. Both are water. Both leave the landscape changed. Our giving is the same. The question is not whether it will transform the world, it will. The question is how. The American Buddhist teacher Thanisaro Bhikkhu writes that gaining happiness by giving things away creates what he calls spaciousness in the mind, in the world, in our relationships. Gratitude lives in that spaciousness. When we are contracted, when we are gripping, gratitude cannot find a foothold. But when we open the hand, something opens in us too. The gifts that were always there become visible. A flash flood is dramatic, overwhelming, all at once. A stream is quiet, consistent, almost invisible. We need both. What we cannot afford is stagnation. Cohesion, interdependence. Here is a fact that stops me every single time. A single water molecule is almost nothing. Oxygen and hydrogen, H2O, weightless, invisible, inconsequential. Bind enough of them together and you have the force that carved the Grand Canyon. This congregation is a gathering of molecules. No single one of us can do what needs to be done. But our cohesion, our willingness to show up for one another, to stay even when it is hard, that is what gives us force. That is what allows water to erode the banks that attempt to constrain us. Villanueva puts it this way: before we had systems of exchange steeped in transaction, it was relational. That, he says, is the richest form of wealth. Not what you hold, but who holds you. Confluence, pluralism. A river is not one stream. It is many streams joining. Each tributary brings its own character, its silt, its temperature, its speed. The river is made up of all of them, and none of them is wrong. There is no single right way to give. Some among us give through large, dramatic acts, radical redistribution of wealth or time. Some give in small, consistent, almost invisible ways. A text to a grieving friend at midnight, a casserole left on a doorstep, a check written quietly every month. All of it is water. All of it joins the river. There is a trifecta we speak of in stewardship: time, talent, and treasure. But here's the trap. We sometimes tell ourselves that because we are given one, we are exempt from the others. But a healthy river needs all its tributaries. The invitation is not to give what others give. It is to give what only you can give. Pressure, generosity. The last line of Mary's poem: my surface tension is dammed up, ready to explode. Dammed water does not stay still forever. It either bursts through in a flood that nobody can control, or it stagnates and slowly poisons the land around it. Water that flows with intention, water that moves from a place of gratitude rather than fear, that water sustains life. That water carves canyons. It's good. We needed a break. I know what it is to feel dammed up. The fear that if you give, there won't be enough left for you. The exhaustion of a world that keeps asking. The grief of perhaps having given once beautifully and not having had that gift honored. Whatever has dammed you up, I see it. I honor it. And I want to offer something. Gratitude might be the way through. Not forced gratitude, not the kind that papers over pain with a list of blessings, the deep kind, the kind that my grandmother taught me with her steady hand, the kind that says, I have been given to enormously, and what I have received is asking to move through me, not stay locked inside. As we heard from the reading by Bayo Akomolafe, becoming water is not an act, it is an undoing, a liquefaction of the stable outlines of the self. To become water is not to surrender in despair. It is to dissolve into relation. He calls it the politics of the spills. And spills don't hold press conferences, they just move. We are so trained to announce our generosity rather than simply be it, but the spill doesn't perform. Remember the 30-year-old who let the Dow flew through him and picked up the check? And just by the way, I paid him back. It's too hard to shake. Those deeply held cultural notions are too hard to shake. I have thought about him many times since, not because of the money, but because of the ease, the complete absence of scorekeeping, the giving that required no transaction, no drama, no audience. That is what I aspire to. Giving from a place so full of gratitude that generosity becomes the most natural thing in the world. The final question. We are living through a moment that is trying to dam us up. Fear is in the air. Division abounds. The banks that constrain us are very real. We are told we cannot have an expanded campus. We are told that black and brown and white bodies can be murdered by the government in broad daylight. Those banks are systems of inequity, the invisible walls that tell some people, you don't belong here, your body is not safe, your family is not valued, that parking is what is needed for our beacon to shine. This is not the time to hold back. This is the time to flow, with love at the center, holding it all toward justice and equity in transformative and interdependent ways, honoring the many forms that generosity can take. I'm grateful for Mary's poem that made this sermon possible. I'm grateful for my grandmother's hand. I'm grateful for Donna's wisdom, for Villanueva's willingness to be changed by it, for Bayo Akomolafe, who flows like his words. I'm grateful for every person in this room who has ever shown up when showing up was hard. And I am grateful, perhaps above all, for water, for what it teaches, for how it refuses to stop, for the fact that it will always, eventually, find a way. May we flow freely. May we flow together. May we flow with gratitude in our hearts and generosity in our hands. May we be like water. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be.
Thank you, Tuli. We are grateful to you. And we're going to sing our way out with something from the Teal hymnal. It's number 1028, The Fire of Commitment. So we're going to sing about guiding hands and hearts and having our future begin. So I invite you to rise and body your spirit, and we'll sing this together. From the light of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the stories of our living rings a song both brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands a deeper justice built by our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin.
Won't you reach across the aisles, please, and hold a hand? Our benediction is called When Giving Is All We Have by Alberto Rios. One river gives its journey to the next. We give because someone gave to us. We give because nobody gave to us. Giving is first and every time, hand to hand, mine to yours, yours to mine. You give me blue, I give you yellow. Together we are simple green. You gave me what you did not have, and I gave you what I had to give. Together we made something greater from the difference. Go in peace. Amen.